Hey everybody, welcome back to the LuckyDog podcast. This is your host, Elias Roush. This podcast is sponsored by EliasRoushMedia.com, photo, video, digital media production. Today we are discussing the highly anticipated You Season 4 on Netflix. February 9th, 2023 is the day it dropped. Here is the plot. Again, if you need to watch season 3 and catch up with everything, we've already covered that. Go ahead and check out that podcast. We've given our review on season 3. We were excited to see season 4. I think everyone generally enjoys a nice season. It's kind of a little mystery, kind of a little drama, a little bit maybe I shouldn't be watching this, but it's also kind of entertaining, a little bit schlocky, a little bit trash, but it's still entertaining overall. I think generally the overall individual viewership is excited to have Joe back. My biggest thing for Joe was, is it going to be able to sustain and keep up an interesting pace? In my opinion, this first episode, we're going to go into spoilers for the first episode. I haven't seen any other episodes. Episode 1 of season 4, Joe Takes a Holiday, directed by John Scott, written by Sarah Gamble and Leo Richardson. I gotta say yes, it's worth it. The first episode got me hooked. I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, all right, we're gonna get back into the voyeur. We're gonna get back into the groove of this Dexter-esque weirdo that is stalking women and killing his wives and past girlfriends and everything in between. And now he's gone from Paris to uh, London. And so now he's on his quote unquote Euro trip. And basically he's trying to not be a bad guy again, but he just can't not give in to temptation. So let me give a quick synopsis of what happened through this episode, and then we'll give our take on what we think about this episode and future episodes to come. In a flashback, Joe tracks down. Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to be clear that I want everyone to have made sure they have watched the first episode at least, or if they don't give a shit, they're going to be spoiled on the first episode's kind of plot. In a flashback, Joe tracks down Marianne in London, but chooses to let her go. After she calls him a murderer, Joe is later met by Elliot, a fixer working for Love's father, who sets him up with a cover identity in exchange for killing Marianne's tie. Sorry. In exchange for killing Marianne to tie up loose ends. This is kind of a lot to handle up front, just all this stuff. You're like, wait, who, what? He's in London. Marianne's there. He met up with her. Yeah, it happens almost this fast within the episode. I was not quite 100% on board about what the hell was going on. This episode is kind of told in almost like a Pulp Fiction, not in out of chronological order, like just a big jumble. Him telling us he did track down Marianne, and we see out of order. It would be easier to talk about it in order of the way I guess it happened, is that essentially he did end up meeting with Marianne, and she's like, I know everything that happened. I know that since you're alive and Love's dead, then that means you probably killed her. And she knows the dots on that, connects the dots on that. And immediately she has a knife on him, and he like disarms her, kind of aggressively. And he's like, what's wrong? Penn Badgley is really good at kind of going from this intense charm. Sorry, he can go from an intense to having this charm in like a split second. And even with the beard and seeing him in the full professor getup that he is in, I still find it still kind of disarming. I don't know what it is, but he can still play disarming but also aggressive at the same time. It's pretty impressive, to be honest. Continuing on, so I did kind of fail to mention that Joe is now a professor. He's, teaching students at a college, at a nice Oxford style college. And now he's partying with his neighbor, who's a Brit, and his neighbor's girlfriend, who happens to be there, who's also a teacher. She's literally feeling herself, and he's like, "Oh God, I can't look at her in the window," and stuff like that. He's like scratching his fucking neck, like he can't help himself, like a fucking maniac. And my my whole thing about this is that we've seen this guy do this, I don't know how many times now. Four. This is the fourth season, so four seasons now. So at this point, I'm a little bit like, I don't know, not concerned, but I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm just like, all right, I'm tired of watching this guy like watch women in the window. It's not like I was like for it, but I was like, okay, this is what he does, and I'm like, all right, now he's doing it again. Oh, now he's doing it. Now he's for real. He's doing it again. At least this point, he's like, all right, I gotta stop, and he's like, that's it. Ends up going and partying with all these professors, and then the professors end up getting him really fucked up, and after that it only goes downhill from there. So let me go ahead and do the plot from all of that. Uh, and the fixer from Quinn's, his father-in-law basically hired a fixer, some sort of asshole out of Pulp Fiction, like the Wolf or something like that. He's like, basically, this is how it's gonna go down. And he's like, I was sent here to kill you, but I'll just help you cover it up. But the thing is, Marianne's got to go. And so basically, Joe pickpockets Marianne, steals a heart, I don't know, some sort of necklace, to make it look like he disposed of her, and she gets away, I guess, and we never see her again. I hope that she only gets good things for her. I do like that character and that actress, but I don't see a reason to keep her around in this season. Also, I don't think he had to go through all that trouble. Like, didn't he clearly have like a locket at the beginning of this episode that had her daughter and her on there? I feel like he could have just shown that, or sent a photo of that to the fixer, and it would have been work suffice just as well. Seemed like a lot of work for just showing that Marianne was disposed of. Anyways, I hope she's okay and gets it out of the season alive. Continuing, Joe pickpockets Joe pickpockets Marianne's necklace. Sorry, I'm going on my fourth podcast of the day, and I'm about to fall over. Joe in Joe instead pickpockets Marianne's necklace and sends a photo of it to Elliot to make it appear he killed her. In the present, Joe lives under his new identity, Jonathan Moore, a university English professor. He develops an interest in Kate, the girlfriend of his obnoxious fellow professor, Malcolm, who lives in the flat across from him. And I'm still not really sure how the geography of this flat works, but whatever. He's like looking at the flat from across like the courtyard kind of thing, from his like lofty bookcasey fireplacey room. And I gotta say, I do like the things that we as Americans don't understand, is that they're pointing out like the term pants, certain types of, I'm trying to think, certain types of sayings, mannerisms, them going to dinner and stuff like that. I just think that that's all being summoned. Yeah, being summoned. That's a whole that's another one too. There's just a whole list of kind of anachronisms, I guess, that they're using in this episode that I'm enjoying to hear and learn about. and that they're self-aware enough that Joe is like, yeah, I barely get it, so the audience is going to barely get it. Talking about how Brits love to read, but they don't brush their hair. There was a whole lot of different random comparisons through this episode. Continuing on, I'm literally feeling like, oh god, I'm going down. Yeah. We're gonna finish this up. Let me see. Joe saves Kate, his neighbor's girlfriend, from two robbers when they're leaving work. To repay him, Malcolm invites him to a party at an elite social club. And the entire time, you're just getting these flashbacks of like 10 different people that Joe is explaining. He's like, oh, this guy's an asshole. This girl's an influencer and an asshole. This lady's doing NFTs and an asshole. He's basically explaining how everyone's some sort of an asshole and how their claim to fame. And you're like, okay, this is a lot of introduction. And then they continue to do the introduction. I was like, oh my God, this is a lot of people to remember. I was like, why can't we just, do it organically or naturally? And by the end of the night, I figure out that why we need to know all these people is because these are going to be prime suspects. See, this is the big hook of the show, of the first episode, is that he's not going to be stalking you as in Marianne or his next lover, next whoever. He's stalking the person who's killed his fucking neighbor, Malcolm. And I got to say, I didn't hate Malcolm. I thought he was kind of a likable prick. He was just entertaining. I don't think I'd want to hang out with the guy, but he was funny to watch on screen. And let me see. Okay, so let's talk about this party. Malcolm invites him, Joe, or Jonathan now, to a party at an elite social club where Joe befriends author and mayoral hopeful Ray's Montrose, which I like this guy. I can't think off the top of my head where I've seen him. Maybe some sort of British movie or show, but there's like some sort of reflection that Joe has with this guy. He's kind of my number one prime suspect, but I'm not 100% sure who else would have beef against Malcolm. It seems like a lot of people might not like this guy, especially maybe this guy's girlfriend, because it originally is framed that Joe just wakes up. He's like, what a crazy fucking night. He comes out and he's like, oh my freaking, and fucking Malcolm's dead on the fucking kitchen table. You're like, son of a bitch. That's going to be leaving a stain. So what so Joe gets heavily intoxicated at a party and awakens in his flat. I mean, I've been there before where he's just like, oh god, and they're giving him shots of absinthe and all this like really expensive alcohol and high not expensive but high alcohol, highly alcoholic alcohol. You know what I'm talking about. I told you I'm losing it right now. So intoxicated at the party. So he awakens to find Malcolm stabbed to death. Assuming he killed Malcolm before blacking out, Joe disposes of his body because he looks across the flat and he sees that Malcolm's girlfriend is currently talking to the police. He's like, fuck, I got a fucking body. And there's fucking like, it probably smells, got there's shit everywhere, whatever else. And he doesn't want that kind of attention, obviously, because he's got to deal with 2 missing toes that he apparently put in the pie in the last season that I kind of forgot of. And there's a whole just list of shit that he can't deal with. And he just ain't nobody got time for that. And so, whoops. Ain't nobody got time for that either. Okay, so, you know what I mean? It's a wild one. He's got way too much to handle. Clearly, my stand. This is like, all right, we're done tonight. And so, Anyways, where are we at? If you're listening, my fucking green screen just like slowly just went. It's like if I don't know which one's more tired, the green screen or I am. So okay, we're gonna finish this. Joe disposes the body the next day. Kate invites Joe, and his disposal of the body is disgusting. He's going full Dahmer with it. It is disgusting. Chopping it up, watching football, yakking while it's all happening, probably leaving DNA everywhere. You forget how disgusting and ruthless Joe can be, disposing of bodies and shit like that. And of course, we got the flashback and at the beginning of Love doing all of that as well. But that's about it. Let me see what else. Joe disposes of the body the next day. Kate invites Joe to dinner, even though she's not very concerned about where the hell Malcolm is. She's just like, come to dinner, let's have, a good dinner. As Joe arrives, he receives a series of anonymous texts from Malcolm's real killer, who appears to be stalking him. So we have a stalker that we need to kind of point out in this first episode. I want to call my shot. So I think it's quite obvious that there's going to be some red herrings. I think the red herring is probably going to be okay. So here's what's going to happen. I predict, and again, I haven't seen. It's February 9th right now. It's not even February 10th. It's impossible for me to have watched this full season, but I'm going to take a wild guess that a combination of either the girlfriend, Ray's, and maybe that student at the beginning. I don't know. She's kind of suspect too. I don't know. She hasn't done anything yet, but she might be a sus. She's definitely suspect. They are my top three killers or possible killers. It's definitely not this fixer. The fixer, I can already tell what's going to happen. The fixer's going to find out. These are our guesses and speculation, so don't, get mad at me if I'm actually right or not. I could be I'm probably wildly wrong. I can barely speak, wildly wrong, but just saying, these are my guesses. I think the fixer is going to come back and figure out, hey, Marianne's alive, man. Like, okay, so that means Joe's going to have to like take care of the fixer, which I've kind of felt like you've killed multiple people. You've killed a lot of people, Joe. Let's just kill the fixer and just let Marianne do her own thing, because this is what's eventually going to have to happen. I just feel like this kind of subplot is just like, we need something to do next season or like something. So this season, I've kind of forgot to say everything off the top. I told you my head's all jumbly right now. I feel like I took the drugs that they gave Joe. Didn't. I'm just fucking tired. The what was I gonna say? Oh, this season is going to be divided in two parts, and so there will be a part two. I don't think we're gonna do multiple episodes of this, but if we do, obviously just subscribe. You'll see everything that you need that we cover. So yeah, what were we discussing? Yeah, I told you my head's over there. Okay, so the three my main suspects. We spend a lot of time on these students at the beginning. They're a little bit sus. Maybe they find out, maybe they don't find out. I don't know if he's gonna have to kill one of these college students. They better not get wise. That's all I gotta say. All right. Sorry. Uh anyways, it's either the girlfriend, Ray's, or the student at the beginning. Those are my three main suspects. Those are the mostly because we're spending a lot of time with this guy. I'm not really sure what the deal is, why we're spending so much time. He seems to be like a reflection of Joe, and I think that's kind of important to kind of like be in a tune with it, because Joe doesn't have friends. So he's always talking to us, the audience, and he's just kind of telling us what's what, but he's not getting any advice from anyone else. And so he does need some sort of guidance, and I kind of like that character. I would be kind of sad to. I'm almost everyone Joe comes in contact with is at risk for him just having to kill him, because if they get too close and find out his real identity, that's what happens. But he does have kind of a list of I don't know, accolade, people that actually do sort of like him on a level. I was gonna say that know of him. I Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. His friend at the bookstore, that guy, I forgot his name. He was cool. Anyways, that is season 4, episode 1 of You. And losing my mind right now, but let me see what else we got. So I think there's 6 episodes in this. Okay, so there are 5 episodes in part 1, dropping on February 9th, 2023 right now. And then in another month, part 2 will come back with another 5 episodes. And that is the coverage. Let me know what you thought about the coverage. I really do apologize that I'm like fucking falling asleep right now, and my fucking green screen's like, all right, fuck it, we're done, closing up shop. Fuck it, everybody. It's goddamn 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh fuck. But hopefully that it's goofy enough for something that at least it might be moderately entertaining for the first episode to jump in there. People are gonna be watching this in a few years like, what the fuck was this guy on? I'm on no sleep right now. That's what I'm on. So thank you for listening, watching Look It Up Podcast. Take it easy. And again, thumbs up, subscribe, 5 stars on iTunes. You know what to do to help us out in all the podcast platforms. LookItOutPodcast.com to go to and interact with all the links. Again, take it easy.